Hello, everyone. We have a very new topic, business topics in literature, which somehow coheres with technical topics in literature, but it is more from a communication point of view. So before we will discuss business topics or, literature from a business point of view. We will discuss what business itself is, or what business communication is first. So after we have a better understanding of business communication, then we will jump into the discussion of the literature and how it communicates. So what we mean by business communication, let's start with that. So when we talk about business communication, it's an exchange of facts, ideas, opinions, or emotions by two or more persons. W.H. Newman and C.F. Schummer defines it. Similarly, we have more definition here. Communication is the sum total of all the things one person does when he wants to create understanding the mind of another. Another is transmission of information and understanding. It's a two-way communication. And when we try to define communication, particularly in the context of business, then it is more about transmission of ideas, feelings, plans, commands, instructions, reports, suggestions that influence the attitude towards an organization's objective. So when we talk about business communication, there we tend to connect the communication with the organizational objectives or institutional objectives. And success of the business depends on the communication. They are very interdependent. How well you can communicate with your the consumers or your people out there, the more successful your business will be. Again, we continue with the more definition of communication, the process of sending and receiving messages. But the communication is effective only when the message is understood and when it stimulates action or encourages the receiver to think in new ways. So again, business communication is relating to business activities, which means providing goods and services to the consumers with a view to earning profit. So when when we talk about communication itself, there are message, sender, receiver, channels, symbols, and feedback involved. But when we talk about business communication, it has entirely the sort of a purpose of making profit and kind of building a relationship with the consumers. um, uh, and it has some organizational and institutional perspectives. So these are the things that get involved in business communication. But again, when we talk about literature and talk about the business, the success of business and the success of literature depend upon the clarity of your of what you say or what you write, clarity of your communication. So whether that be in business or in writing sort of a genre of literature, if you can communicate well, then the success lies in there. So here we try to differentiate between the business communication and communication literature. Business communication is more of a practical one, and communication literature is mainly it's imaginary in the sense that sometimes it's very, if it is fictional, it's more imaginary. It's non-fictional, it is based on facts again. So again, business communication is more of a factual. Communication literature, especially it's a fiction and stories, which is more hypothetical. But again, even hypothesis comes from your or lived experiences, or what you have come across, or what you have seen, and best of your own the factual experiences as well. And again, if communication is clear and brief, that really reach out to as many audiences and readers as possible. Each and every communication does have its own target audience, whether that be business or literature. And again, business communication is more of a persuasive one, while literature is for the purpose of for the entertaining purpose, and at the same time it's informative as well. Business communication is very formal, and literature is more of informal, sort of a genre, but it has its own way of presenting ideas and structuring them. Again, it's vertical and horizontal. And the relationship of communication in business uh, has its certain purpose, specific purpose. while the communication and literature does have its own, the purposes as well. So proper communications or better communication in business is aimed at improving employees' engagement. It eliminates email overload, and then you can have these points. So I'm not going to read them loud. So again, talking about the communication in literature, you see, it has the educational purposes as well. It is out to also to audiences. It promotes culture, it expresses emotions, entertains peoples, and it also informs at the same time. So the literature does those things. So here is a video, The Danger of a Single Story. It is a very interesting video. Uh, this helps you better understand what happens if the literature fails to communicate. Because we tend to read the literature from a certain perspective. We tend to, in the past, people used to think that writing literature is the job of elite people who will be entertain uh, themselves. But that might be forgetting the aspect of the people from a different the socio-cultural background. So that's why the literature should be very thoughtful and mindful of those people who are very marginalized and from different community. If the literature becomes very effective and powerful to communicate those peoples from living from the different background, that time the literature will be very effective and communicative as well. So that is very, very important video. I recommend you watch. So if you go here, this is the a single story kind of a thing. I think, okay, here you see. All right. For British and American children. This is Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She talks about the danger of single story. So she means to say that our lives, our cultures are composed of many overlapping stories. So just it's a must-watch video. So you watch it and you really will enjoy this. So going back to this one. So let me, okay. So I think that's it. That's it. So going back to your, so that's the reason why this course is, the design for you. So hope you will enjoy it. If you have any questions, you can always let me know. So let's start with the communication definition itself and how it is different. The communication different in the context of business versus in the context of writing fictions and non-fictions and other genres as well. So we'll start from here, and everything is in the syllabus. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.